और ये अशांति कितने दिन चलेगी, कैसा चलेगा, तो ये आप मुझे बताना चाहिए। और इस देश को एक हमने रखा। वल्लभ भाई पटेल जी ने 500 से अधिक रियासतों में बटे देश को एक किया, लेकिन आप क्या कहते हैं, एक है सेफ है। अरे एक है सेफ है, ये सेफ है देश। इसमें कोई अगर अंगार, इसमें अगर कोई अंगार डालेंगे तो वो लोग इसको फोड़ने का काम कर रहे हैं। तो इसीलिए मैं ज़्यादा आपका वक्त नहीं लेता। तो देखिए, और एक लास्ट कोट में आपका पढ़ूंगा। भक्ति इन रिलीजन may be a road to salvation of the soul, but in politics, bhakti or hero worship is a sure road to degradation and to eventual dictatorship. तो ये डिक्टेटरशिप के बाहर है। आप जो आज बजा रहे हैं ना, ढोल बजा बजा के उनकी भक्ति की नारा कर रहे हैं, तो वो ये लोग उनको डिक्टेटरशिप की तरह ले जाना चाहते हैं और वो डिक्टेटर बनने को तैयार है। तो इसीलिए मैं आपसे विनती करूंगा कि ये डेमोक्रेसी डिक्टेटरशिप के तहत नहीं चलना चाहिए और सभी लोग आज जो संविधान को हम मानते हैं वो उसी पर हम चलना चाहिए। और आज इस देश के लिए एक बात ज़रूरी है, जब देश को आज़ादी मिली, जब एटली ने, आपको मालूम, लेबर पार्टी के प्रधानमंत्री, उन्होंने उस वक्त चर्चिल ने क्या कहा था, भारत को स्वाधीनता देने वाले लॉर्ड एटली सरकार के प्रस्ताव पर चर्चा के दौरान ब्रिटिश संसद में पूर्व प्रधानमंत्री और तत्कालीन विपक्षी नेता विंस्टन चर्चिल ने कहा था कि आज़ाद होते ही भारत बिखर जाएगा और वह दुष्टों, बदमाशों, लुटेरों के हाथ चला जाएगा। ये बात चर्चिल की ये मंशा थी। हम नहीं चला सकते, हम संविधान नहीं बना सकते, इसीलिए उन्होंने ये बात की। लेकिन पंडित नेहरू, सरदार पटेल, मौलाना आज़ाद, डॉक्टर अंबेडकर ने इस देश को डेमोक्रेसी लाकर सबको बचा दिया। और इतना कहते हुए मैं और कुछ नहीं बोलना चाहता हूँ। आपको एक ही मिनट में समझा के बैठूंगा, एक ही मिनट में सब। देखो, एक राहत इंदौरी का है, राहत इंदौरी, जहाँ से गुजरो धुआं बिछा दो, जहाँ से गुजरो धुआं बिछा दो, जहाँ भी पहुँचो धमाल कर दो, जहाँ भी पहुँचो धमाल कर दो। तुम्हें सियासत ने हक दिया है, हरी जमीनों को लाल कर दो, हरी जमीन को लाल कर दो। अपील भी तुम, दलील भी तुम, गवाह भी तुम, वकील भी तुम, जिसे भी चाहो हराम दिल लिख लो, जिसे भी चाहे वो हलाल कर दो। ये शब्दों के साथ मैं मेरे 4 शब्दों को समाप्त करता हूँ। आपने जो मेरे को समय दिया, इसलिए मैं धन्यवाद करता हूँ। मेरा समय मेरे पार्टी के समय में मत काटो, यही विनती करता हूँ।
मान्यवर, आपने एक न्यायालय के आदेश की चर्चा की थी झंडे संबंधित, उसकी प्रतिलिपि सदन के पटल पर रखी। देखिए क्या परफेक्ट टाइमिंग है। निर्मला जी ने 79 मिनट्स लिए, आपने भी 79 मिनट्स लिए। परफेक्ट है। श्री साकेत गोखले।
Thank you so much, sir. Sir, on Saturday, Prime Minister Modi presented 11 resolutions. I call them 11 jumlas during his speech on the Constitution in the Lok Sabha. But the problem is that PM Modi needs to be reminded of the basics. So today and tomorrow, my party, All India Trinamool Congress, will remind PM Modi of the 9 key terms in the preamble of the Constitution of India, which his government has completely destroyed. These are: we the people of India, sovereign, socialist, secular, democratic, republic, justice, liberty, and equality. Sir, I will speak today on justice for just 3 minutes, because injustice has been the hallmark of the Modi government. Sir, I want to ask, how will PM Modi defend his record on justice to the following people? The 21 lakh Manrega workers of Bengal who have worked but haven't been paid since 3 years because Modi's government has withheld Bengal's dues. Why? Because his party lost the election. Bilkis Bano, whose rapists were forgiven and released by this government. Umar Khalid, Khalid Saifi, and numerous others who have spent years in jail only because they dared to criticize Modi and Shah.
Yes, yes.
The 750 farmers who died outside the borders of Delhi only for protesting for their rights, laws which were later taken back by the Prime Minister. The people of Manipur who today, as we speak, as I speak here, sir, are seeing their homes burn and their families die every day. Sir, I've had the personal privilege of experiencing justice under this government. I was locked up in a jail in Gujarat for 155 days in a case related to a tweet and a 500 rupee money laundering case. But then I found out what real justice means when my leader Mamata Banerjee sent me to this august House of Parliament where my oppressors have to see my face every day. So Mamata Banerjee understands justice and is committed to it. Social justice, as the preamble says, Mamata Banerjee brought schemes like Lokhir Bhandar and Kanyashri. That Lokhir Bhandar was brought a long time ago. अब ये कॉपी कर रहे हैं लाड़की बहना लाड़की बहन. It was started by Mamata Banerjee. So social justice through measures like Aparajita Bill to give justice to women who face violence, but that has not yet been passed. I don't know why the finance minister was so embarrassed even after prompting when she said women's reservation bill, Hamari Sarkar ne 98 May. Why didn't she mention that it was Honorable Mamata Banerjee who had brought the bill in 1998? Sir, our constitution guarantees social, economic, and political justice to the people. Where is social justice when minorities are subjected to atrocities every day? And when the Prime Minister ran a poisonous communal campaign during the Lok Sabha elections? Where is economic justice when our youth have no jobs and families have no money left thanks to rising prices and inflation? The Honorable Finance Minister can at least do the least and reduce taxes on the middle class, sir. Where is political justice when opposition leaders are threatened using CBI and ED, and when the corrupt ones who go through the BJP washing machine become squeaky clean? So the PM loves to talk about previous governments and their record of 70 saal. I have to admit that our Prime Minister has been very successful on one front. Sir, हमारे यशस्वी प्रधानमंत्री नरेंद्र मोदी जी ने, the way he's destroyed the constitution in 10 years, previous governments couldn't do for 70 years. So Modi does not care about justice, but the people of India do. Which is why it was poetic justice when his party BJP was recently reduced to 240 seats in the Lok Sabha. People destroyed his arrogance and his party. And I want to from here, sir, with my hand on the Constitution, promise the Prime Minister that he will again be reminded of the meaning of justice, which is in our preamble, when his party BJP, which has deprived and defamed the people of Bengal, will be routed out again in 2026 under CM Mamata Banerjee. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Honorable Tiruchi Sivaji.
Thank you, Mr. Deputy Chairman, sir. Sir, I am indeed privileged to participate in this discussion on the glorious journey of 75 years of our Constitution on behalf of the DMK party. Sir, our Constitution is a unique and enduring document which has withstood many crises and the test of time. So the Indian Constitution has not come out of a revolution, as in many other countries, but it is out of a series of experiences, developments rooted in constitutional methodologies and principles. Sir, I have got a lot to say about it, sir. Before that, I would like to recall Thomas Jefferson, the architect of the Declaration of Independence and the third President of United States of America, he once wrote that no constitution in the world will survive for more than 19 years. Later, the same theory was reaffirmed by three researchers on an empirical study which has come out in the Endurance of National Constitutions. And it also said that every constitution expires within 17 years. They said some reasons for that, sir. That inclusivity is a main reason, and adaptability of the constitutionalism. Sir, as far as we are concerned, we want to appreciate first the framers of the Constitution. Sir, as the statement of Thomas Jefferson, or as which has been reaffirmed by researchers, sir, our Constitution has survived for more than 17 years and still it is robust and dynamic. What are the reasons for that, sir? The other constitutions have not debated as much as us. The American Constitution was debated and drafted within 4 months, and the South African was within 9 months. Whereas the Constituent Assembly of India, to draft the Constitution, sir, first the members were elected indirectly across the state, from the provincial states, from the princely states, and the provincial principal commissioners. It came to about 389, and later after the partition it came down to 299, and with that the Constituent Assembly started functioning. These are all very important facts, sir. We have to mention what is the reason for the robust nature of our Constitution. Sir, it held 11 sessions, sir, which ran up to 165 days, out of which 114 days were focused totally on the draft Constitution. 7,635 amendments were tabled, and 2,473 amendments were moved. Whereas in other constitutions, in other nations' constitutions, amendments were not moved, sir. And subsequent to that, the position of our Constitution is very much glorified. Our Constitution is credited for establishing the rule of law and also fostering a responsible government to India. Our Constitution played a pivotal role in shaping India's democratic character and safeguarding individuals' liberties, balancing the delicate relationship between the sovereign state and federalism, and above all, it formed the backbone of India's governance. Sir, before I go into the subject, I have something to say which the Finance Minister, in her initiative speech, said about the first amendment to the Constitution, which you are very well aware of, 1951. She said about 1904 of the Constitution, the amendment that was made was 1904. I would like to say, sir, in the same amendment, there was another one, which is 15.4, Article 15, 5 and 6. Sir, the first amendment to the Constitution was subsequent to a case which the leader of opposition mentioned, Shanmugam Doreraj. Before that, one should know about the history, sir. It was first in Tamil Nadu, then Madras Presidency. In 1921, when the Justice Party, our parent body, was ruling Tamil Nadu, a communal GO was issued. By that way, everyone were benefited by way of reservation. So long, since then, only the upper caste was enjoying all the education and employment opportunities. And that was made with more reservation in 1927. And later, sir, this Shanmugam Doreraj filed a case in the court that this communal reservation deprives her of a genuine seat in medical. The court, without applying. Later came the fact. The court upheld her case and petition and struck down the communal reservation. The strange part of this is the Shanmugam Raju has filed the case, was not at all an applicant. So it was struck down, and all those days which were enjoyed by the people of OBC, SC, and other communities, this reservation benefit was really shocked. So at that time, Thanai Periyar, our mentor and our founder leader Anna, launched a very big agitation in Tamil Nadu demanding for reservation, and it became a people's movement. And because of that, the 1951 amendment was brought. The first amendment, it says that nothing in this article or subclass, nothing in this article or in class 2 of the Article 29 shall prevent the state from making any special provision for the advancement of any socially and educationally backward classes of citizens or for the scheduled castes and the scheduled tribes. So, sir, this 1951 First Amendment, no one should forget, sir, that without this, the benefit would not have been extended to the suppressed and oppressed classes all those years. It was thanks to the Dravidian movement. What we call now Dravidian model is only this. Only because of that, the reservation was restored. And later, when the Mandal Commission recommendations came for reservation to the OBC in education and employment, I would try to recall who all opposed and who pulled down the government of Mr. VP Singh, the then Prime Minister. But then it was implemented. May I urge the learned people, members in the treasury benches, it was only by an OM, that is office memorandum. If you are really interested in the interests of OBC, you bring a constitutional, as you did for EWS. You did for EWS, but you are not yet still bothered about the OBC, but you say very proudly everywhere that you are all OBC communities. So, sir, and this is the right time. Dr. Ambedkar, who became later the chairman of the drafting committee, was only a member in a subcommittee on fundamental rights. Before 9 months, he was assigned the responsibility of chairing the drafting committee, sir. In the subcommittee, on 27th of February 1947, asked its members to submit their ideas in writing. And Dr. Ambedkar, along with Mr. Munshi, Aladi Krishnasamy Iyer, and Harnam Singh, he also submitted one. Very interesting to know, sir, the title of that draft report which Ambedkar submitted was United States of India. Its language was reminiscent of America's Declaration of Independence. It very clearly said, sir, that the federalism must be upheld and more rights to be given to the states. But on the day of adoption, Munshi's draft was adopted by the committee, and Ambedkar was not also there. It was not pressed. Later, he tried his best to implement what all was in his mind in the United States of India. So ultimately, Dr. Baba Saheb Ambedkar's intention was to strengthen the states. There is no explicit term federalism in our constitution, but the very first in the preamble says, India, that's Bharat, shall be a union of states. That itself is very emphatic. And later, he became the chairman of the drafting committee, and it's very appreciable, sir, the constitution which was drafted and adopted later, it established the foundation for a country that would respect diversity in religion and culture while upholding the values of equality and fairness. These are to be kept by the ruling party today. The nation's dedication to diversity and tolerance is demonstrated by the Indian Constitution, which protects the rights of linguistic and religious minorities. Additionally, the Constitution preserved unity among many religious communities by guaranteeing that the state would not favor any one religion. Sir, underscore, The Constitution guarantees that the state would not favor any one religion over another by supporting the secularism ideal. It's very clear, sir. But what is happening today? I don't want to bring down the level of the debate because it's the Constitution's glorious celebration we are, 75 years. So we have to applaud. So many scholars, intellects were in the Constituent Assembly, whom we fondly remember, or it is our bounden duty to pay respects to all those people. They are now called as the framers of the Constitution. Dr. Ambedkar, Mr. Jawaharlal Nehru, Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel, Maulana Abul Kalam Azad, Rajendra Prasad K.M. Munshi, Aladi Krishnaswamy Iyer, B.N. Rao, Shyama Prasad Mukherjee, J.B. Kirbalani, Rafi Ahmad Kidwai, Mr. Santanam, K.T. Shah, H.V. Kamath, T.T. Krishnamachari, and above all, Qaide Millat Sahib. Sir, when the partition happened, when Jinnah wanted to have a separate nation for Muslims, and as I said, 389 members in the Constitution Assembly came down to 299. Many, when he declared that whoever are Muslims, come with me to the Muslim nation. But including Qaide Millat Sahib, the Muslims who are now in this country said, yes, we are Islamic people, but India is our country. But how they are treated now? I would urge, sir, again the government, not an iota of apprehension should come in the minds of the linguistic and religious minority in this country. But it often happens. We have to see to that, sir. Everything. And Dr. Ambedkar very responsibly told that. He was, of course, lauded by everyone. Pattabhiram Sitaramaiah told that, when speaking about Dr. Ambedkar, he said, what a steamroller intellect he has brought into this Constituent Assembly, which is irresistible, indelible, and unconquerable. And Dr. Rajendra Prasad, the chairman of the Constituent Assembly, very clearly said that if at all the best thing the Constituent Assembly has done is that we have made Dr. Ambedkar as the chairman of the drafting committee. And what he said, sir, Dr. Ambedkar, he was also very much responsive. He appreciated each and everyone. The leader of opposition quoted someone. And Dr. Ambedkar very clearly says, I quote, sir, Sir Aladi Krishnamaiah, Dr. Ambedkar said, I came with no greater aspiration than to safeguard the rights of the interests of the scheduled caste people. I had the least remotest idea that I would be entrusted with such a big responsibility. There are people bigger, better, and more competitive than me in this assembly. But they have made me. They have entrusted the responsibility. They have chosen me as the chairman of the drafting committee. And he continues to say, sir, and he says very much about S.N. Mukherjee, Sundarnath Mukherjee. The West Bengal people should be happy about it. The Surendranath Mukherjee, he said, the task of the drafting committee would have been a very difficult one if this Constituent Assembly has been merely a motley crowd, a tessellated pavement without cement, a black stone here and white stone there, with each member or each group was a law unto itself. In that respect only, he is appreciating the Congress. It is because of the discipline of the Congress party that the drafting committee was able to pilot the Constitution in the Assembly with the sure knowledge as to fate of each article and each amendment. My job is not to be a spokesperson, sir, but I call a spade a spade. We have got many things, but we call a spade a spade. And Dr. Ambedkar shared the credit with each and everyone. He said party discipline, in all its rigidity, would have converted this assembly into a gathering of yes men. Fortunately, there were rebels. There were Mr. Kamath, Mr. Deshmukh, Mr. Sidhwa, Professor K.T. Shah, and Pandit Hridayanath Kunsu. So when he appreciated those who supported, at the same time, he also mentioned those who were rebels, who spoke against. That is dissent, that is democracy. So that has emerged in those days itself. Sir, the Constitution has very great qualities. I don't want to go into that. I got something else. I want to remind of our great leader, the great thinker, uncomparable, and still not still, sir, forever, the very best scholar is our Anna, the founder leader of our DMK party. Sir, he used to write letters in the party official organ to his party cadre, enlightening them of what is going on in the country, enriching them with the history of the world. The revolutions happen here and there. For what reason? And all people have come out of slavery. All these things he was educating the last person in the party. So he used to write. But the way of addressing the letter was the dear brother. This family bondage, this affinity was first brought in by him. Anna wrote a letter which happened to be the last one and which is also called as the Will of Anna. At that time he was the chief minister. He wrote that, dear brother, I have never been mad after power, nor I am happy to be the chief minister of a state which comes under a constitution where it is in letter that it is federalistic, but in practice it is becoming more and more centralized. So he expressed that autonomy has to be given to the states. This was his last wish, and so it is considered as a will. Because he realized the states which are the constituents of this union were weakened slowly, one by one stages. What is happening is now much worse. All the laws that have been enacted in the recent days by the BJP has either usurped the powers of the state or transgressed into the state's powers or minimizing, declining everything. This I have to mention, sir. Later, after the demise of Anna, our great leader, Dr. Kalaignar, the late Dr. Kalaignar, he took over the party president and the chief minister of the state. He immediately appointed, the first thing he said when he addressed the press in Delhi after meeting the prime minister conventionally, the first thing I'm going to do is to constitute a committee to go into the center-state relations. Because without powers, being a chief minister of a state is of no use. Much worse is what is happening in Delhi now. The Delhi, totally the chief minister's powers have been taken and given to the LG, and the chief secretary will master over the chief minister, and secretary will master over the minister. That is what's happening in Delhi. That's union territory. But even in the states were not able to fulfill the needs and the requirements of those people. So Dr. Kalaignar, he constituted a committee under the then former Chief Justice of Madras High Court, Dr. Rajamannar, and along with him two other luminaries, Chandasamy and one Lakshmanaswamy, an academician. And the terms of reference was very important, entrusted to the committee. The terms of reference were, kindly look into it, that what are the powers from the union list and the concurrent list should be transferred to the state list. And what are the powers that have to be deleted from the union list. And when it was given, it came out with a very, important report. It came out. It gave too many number of suggestions, out of which one is Interstate Council, which also was brought into action in during 1989 when VP Singh was the Prime Minister, thanks to our intervention, sir. And it advocated for more rights to the states. And Rajamannar committee's vision is still a document which everyone, whoever wants to see, go into it. So also the Sarkaria Commission later appointed during Mrs. Indira Gandhi's regime. That also went into the center-state relations. Later, the Poonch Committee, that was also appointed for this. All these committees converged at one point that India's individuality lies in diversity. They identified the Poonch Commission, sir, Justice Rajamanar Committee called for greater autonomy to states, including financial independence and a re-evaluation of centrally sponsored schemes. I think learned ministers are here, other members who are also learned are here. A rural scheme which is suited to Tamil Nadu will not be Rajasthan or any other northeastern. So centrally sponsored schemes has to be re-evaluated. It needs a re-evaluation. The Sarkaria Commission furthered this vision by emphasizing consultation before union legislation affecting states and a larger share of tax revenues to be devoted to states. Despite these recommendations, implementation has been partial, having much of contradiction intact. The Poonch Commission identified the need for reforms in the current list and concurrent list and proposed institutionalized mechanisms for reforms for resolving disputes between the center and the states. So these reports offer a roadmap, but challenges still persist. Practically, the area of fiscal devolution and legislation overlap. This is where the commitment of federalism must be tested by ensuring that states are empowered to contribute effectively to the people nation building without being stifled by central overrule. Sir, we are much affected. Dr. Ambedkar said, caste and creed discrimination is prevailing in India. But out of our experience, we feel that the regional discrimination is much more predominant now. Stepmotherly attitude is shown to the states. For example, even the Finance Commission, devolution of taxes, Tamil Nadu has been slowly, the devolution is declining. The 12th Finance Commission gave 3.069 and the 15th gave only 2.6, and whatever, for every 1 rupee we give to the tax basket, we give only 29% in return. Whereas, actually the southern states, that too especially Tamil Nadu, which contributes more to the GST of this nation, GDP of this nation, is of course affected very much. Whereas those nations which are of lower fiscal discipline, they are rewarded much. For what? That is what we said, regional discrimination. I don't want to mention any particular state because our friends are here from various other states. But we feel that the northern states are shown more favoritism, showing lower fiscal discipline, whereas Tamil Nadu, which is performing very well in every, for example, in the higher education, the enrollment ratio overall in India is 28, whereas ours is 52%. So in every area, every sphere, the Tamil Nadu is doing very well, but we being victimized by the union government. So also, sir, the borrowing restrictions imposed under Article 293 undermines the autonomy of the states, discourages fiscal discipline, and stifles regional growth. In these situations, sir, we want to say that these things has to be revived. It's high time, sir. Even the very important is language policy, a sensitive issue that needs recalibration. Tamil Nadu's consistent opposition to the imposition of Hindi is not about rejecting a language, but about preserving its linguistic diversity. The two-language formula adopted in Tamil Nadu has fostered inclusivity without compromising on national unity. Sir, during the Constituent Assembly debates, though there was no subcommittee as like other things for language, but it happened so that when many proposed for Hindi to continue. Before independence, the official language of India was only English. But later, after the independence, the Constituent Assembly, they debated it, and a section of the members supported Hindi, and a section of the members supported English. And when it came to equal Rajendra Prasad, Dr. Rajendra Prasad, who was then the chairman, cast his vote, and by that, Hindi became the official language. And very importantly, article, the language. So, sir, Article 368 also, I must appreciate that. It is the amending provision. The amending provision is the only special feature, unique feature in Indian Constitution which many others do not have. And because of that, so many amendments have been done. And that amendments are being done to meet the need of the day. And when the Constitution was drafted about the official language, sir, it very clearly said that Hindi shall be the official language in Devanagari script, and notwithstanding anything in this article, Parliament may be law provide for the use after the set period of 15 years, the English language or the Devanagari form of numerals. So it said that after 15 years of the enactment of the Constitution, English will go off, and then only Hindi will be the official language. Sir, again, our founder leader Anna, this house was benefited by his presence as a member from 62 to 67. He spoke very much about the language policy, and the Official Languages Amendment Act 1963 came, and it declared that the official language, the English shall also be the official language, as long as the non-Hindi speaking people accept it. Sir, whereas this government is totally thrashing all those things, what the Constitution has assured, it is not enough that you celebrate a Constitution Day in the Central Hall, which you have deserted. And it is not enough if you have a debate in both the houses of Parliament. It must be not only in letter, in spirit also it must be. When it has been assured, India is a country of complexity. It is multilingual, multicultural, multi-regional, multi-religious. Whereas you want to bring everything one nation, one election, one nation, one ration card, one nation, everything. One. But only this Parliament divides the Lok Sabha and the Rajya Sabha. The Central Hall, which used to unite the members of both the houses, is now totally, we are deprived of that. A new member who has come to the Lok Sabha will go off after 5 years without having acquaintance between the Rajya Sabha members and the Lok Sabha members. Why, when you are trying to unite each and everything, why you are dividing the members of Parliament from Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha? That's what I say. It's not just celebrating the Constitution. All the schemes which are implemented by this government are either in Hindi or in Sanskrit. Learned ministers, Puri is here, my dear brother Yadav is here. Kindly tell. Bhupender ji, you know better. It says that any bill or anything should be in English, the Constitution says. But who authorized you to name the nomenclature of every scheme that you bring or every bill you bring, either in Hindi or in Sanskrit? We enter into the Parliament. Now that we are accustomed, we are spelling out, pronouncing it, but we do not know the meaning. Makar Dwar. What is it? What is it? Wherever we go, we see only Sanskrit letters, we see only Hindi letters. See, India is a union of states, don't forget. Don't forget. In the 8th schedule of the Constitution, there are 22 languages, and all those languages should be respected. And no one language should dominate the other. The Tamil is the ancient language in this world. It's the hoary language. When you say Sanskrit and Tamil are ancient, or they are classical languages, Sanskrit is not a spoken language. It's only in books. It is in Vedas. Whereas Tamil has a rich history of literature, grammar, and everything. And 8 countries have Tamil as the official language. Why you are denying this? Showing this partiality. Why you are treating us like that? This stepmotherly attitude, that's what I said in my outset itself. Not even an iota of apprehension should creep into the minds of the linguistic minorities and religious minorities. You are in power. You are in power. but you have to treat the whole of India as one in your outlook, not in names. You are imposing. That's what we say. We are not against one language, not to reject Hindi or any other language. Don't impose that. In Tamil Nadu, we are bilingual, only Tamil and English. If anybody wants to learn any other language, let them. It is also interpreted that we have stopped people learning Hindi. Even the finance minister has leveled an accusation. Never. We stopped her from learning Hindi. No. The Dakshina Hindi Prachar Sabha's headquarters is in Tamil Nadu. Every year, lakhs of people are studying there and getting graduated. If you are totally against a language, we would not have allowed it. If you are interested, go ahead. But what the way the government is acting today is totally anti-constitutional, anti-federal. Sir, we want to insist upon one thing. If at all you are very sincere, if you are really devoted in celebrating the Constitution Day, you have to uphold secularism and federalism, which is the most important factor, core thread of backbone of our Constitution and our country. And in this situation, sir, I would like to conclude with only one thing. Federalism is not about weakening the center. It is about strengthening the union by empowering the Constitution. So kindly keep in mind, we are not against a language, we are not against a region, but you don't discriminate us. That's because we are lying in the last of India. It is not the last. Rather, India starts from the south only, from there only. Our language is rich. Our contribution to this country is rich. Whenever the integrity and the sovereignty of India was affected, it was DMK which has stood first to protect the nation. We had a slogan of separate Dravida Nadu. We gave it up only during the Chinese aggression. During the Bangladesh war, it was DMK which contributed more than any other state to save the nation. So don't underestimate us. We have always been with us. So stop this attitude of stepmotherly treatment, and I would urge again, respect all languages, respect all religions, and tax devolution is very, very important. So with these words, sir, I thank you very much for giving this opportunity.
Thank you. Thank you. Mani Sri V. Vijay Sai Reddy.
Thank you, Deputy Chairman, sir. I'm quite opposite to you, sir, and center neutral.
मेरा ध्यान आप ही पर है, आप प्लीज बोलें.
Sir, we are neither that side nor this side, sir. Yes. No, not.
Please address this.
Under the towering leadership of Dr. B.R. Ambedkar and contributions made by the eminent Telugu members like Bhogaraj Pattabhi Sitaramaya, Moturi Satyanarayana, Durga Bhai Deshmukh, and N.G. Ranga. Sir, the Constitution has become a beacon of hope. For an ordinary citizen, it empowered the individuals to demand accountability, guaranteed equality before law, and upheld the right of dissent. Sir, now the constitutional aspects and legal aspects will be spoken by my colleague Niranjan Reddy, and I would like to focus on the unconstitutional actions that are being undertaken by NDA partner Telugu Desam Party, sir. Sir,
the subject is not Telugu Desam Party, but the constitution debate.
Unconstitutional actions that are being undertaken by one of the alliance partners of NDA. Sir, this is about the constitution only, sir.
Please.
Sir, one of the youngest member, junior member of Telugu Desam Party in Lok Sabha has made an allegation against our earlier Chief Minister, Mr. Jagan Mohan Reddy, that he has diverted 86,000 crores for personal use. This is the allegation what their alliance partner has made. I would like to give a clarification, sir. That is SC funds. Scheduled caste funds have been diverted for personal use.
Please.
Personal use. Sir, where is the number coming from? What is this number? And what is the sanctity this number has got? First of all, whether it is factually correct or not, that is to be inquired into, sir. How did she reach the figure of 86,000 crores? Sir, TDP in Lok Sabha, sir, his turn will come,
Please.
and he can speak whenever his turn comes, sir. TDP in Lok Sabha is talking about, sir,
आपका समय जा रहा है, आपका समय जा रहा है, please.
Sir, TDP, Telugu Desam Party, which is alliance partner of NDA, is talking about the violation of directive principles of state policy. Directive principles of state policy under Article 46. Sir, I would like to know from Telugu Desam Party members and also from NDA, because they are all NDA alliances. Do they know about the DPSP, Directive Principles of State Policy? They are not justiciable, and they are not implemented, and you can't go to the court for the violation. First of all, we have not violated, Jagan Mohan Reddy ji has not violated any directive principles of state policy, and this allegation is false and incorrect. This is what happens when you govern the state without reading the constitution. That is applicable to TDP, sir. Sir, Article 46 of the Constitution of India states that state must promote the educational and economic interest of the weaker sections of the people, especially scheduled caste and scheduled tribes. Sir, second point is protect these groups from the social injustice, from all forms of exploitation. This is what Article 46 says. I really don't understand how the TDP member in Lok Sabha could say that.
माननीय विजय साई रेड्डी जी, चूंकि आप किसी
I am not naming anybody, sir.
But those allegations you have to substantiate and give it here.
Yeah,
You have to give it by evening today.
I will give the speech, I will authenticate and then give the
Please
speech
give.
to you, sir,
Please.
to your good self, sir. Sir, what I am trying to say is, it is totally false. And why I am highlighting this is, they are the partners, alliance partners of NDA. That's why I am highlighting this, sir. Sir, in fact, YSRCP, rather than this allegation of 86,000, diversion of 86,000 crores is falsely made. In fact, YSR Congress Party during 2019 and 24 has brought Super 9 for SCs, particularly SCs and STs in Andhra Pradesh. This is nothing but in tune with the Article 46, sir. Sir, be it Vidya Divana. Vidya Divana is a welfare scheme wherein 60,000 SC students have been benefited. Sir, Vasati Divana is a scheme where 1.83 lakhs SC students have been benefited. Kalyanamastu is a scheme where 17,153 SC students, SC brides have been benefited. Free power, wherein the 17.44 lakhs SC households have been covered. Pension Kanuka, wherein 3,000 to 10,000 per month has been given, and 12.14 lakh SC pensioners have been benefited. Amma Odi, 8.07 SC beneficiaries. Sir, Asra, zero interest, 16.83 lakh SC beneficiaries have been benefited. Cheyuta, 6.39 SC beneficiaries. Jagananna Todu, 1.01 SC beneficiaries. These are all the benefits that have been conferred on SCs and STs, including BCs also. BCs also. That has been done and then implemented successfully by YS Jagan Mohan Reddy Gari government during 2019 to 2024. Why is this allegation? On what basis this allegation has been made?
Now speak for the debate.
Yes, sir, debate.
Decided.
And then the second...
Please, John Britas ji, your time will come. आपका समय है तो आप बोले. Please, no applause.
Sir, this NDA alliance partner TDP, which is heading the state, has stopped all the schemes that have been implemented during the last 5 years by YS Jagan Mohan Reddy, particularly for poor and downtrodden, SCs, STs and minorities.
Please speak on this constitution.
Sir.
You know the rules. I am requesting time and again, please.
Sir, violation of constitution.
Speak. Please.
Violation of constitution. Sir, they say when the arrest has been legally made and the court has sent him to judicial custody, the erstwhile leader of opposition and the present chief minister of Andhra Pradesh, the court has sent him to judicial custody. It is not the government. Government has filed the case. And the TDP says the alliance partner of NDA is unconstitutional. How is it unconstitutional, sir? If it is unconstitutional, would court send him to judicial custody? No. Sir, TDP is saying that he was put behind bars illegally. It's not correct for 53 days. It's not correct. It has been legally.
I am requesting you again under the rules. Otherwise, this will not go on the record.
Yes, sir. I'll tell you, sir. Why would a person who is accused in the scam, namely skill development scam, which is 370 crore of the public money was sanctioned on the basis of PowerPoint presentation, merely on the basis of PowerPoint presentation of MNC, and was being siphoned off through shell companies.
I'm again requesting you, it will not go on the record.
Yes, sir.
It will not go on the record. Please speak on the subject.
What is unconstitutional, I'll tell you, sir.
Please speak on the subject.
Yes, sir.
And this debate is on constitution, not on TDP and its state functioning. Please.
Incidentally, it is TDP,
please,
sir.
No, sir. Please speak on the subject.
Yes.
I'm requesting you again.
Sir, what is constitutional violation? I'll tell you, sir. What is constitutional violation? Not implementing the manifesto is unconstitutional. Not implementing. When you are saying something in the manifesto and people have elected you, and not implementing the manifesto is definitely unconstitutional. Sir, weakening of Raitu Bharosa, that is one of the promises that has been made in the thing. That is also unconstitutional. Sir, ensuring foreign education only for the benefit of their relatives and not for the public. They have banned the English medium. Where is the necessity for banning the English medium? That is, the English medium is the medium.
Please speak on the subject. I am requesting him time again. Please. Vijay Sai Reddy ji.
Sir, putting every person, and what is happening, what is unconstitutional is, whoever tweets, whoever puts a posting, either in Twitter or Facebook, against TDP or NDA.
Again, I am requesting you, Vijay Sai Reddy ji.
And they will be implicated in the cases and they will be put behind the bar.
It will not go on the record. It will not go on the record, Vijay Sai Reddy ji. You are losing your time. Please.
Sir, doesn't matter, sir. I would like to expose it.
Please.
Sir.
No, but not on the subject. On the subject only, please.
Sir, what is unconstitutional is backstabbing his own father-in-law.
It will not go no
personal. Party is backstabbing. That is unconstitutional.
आप जानते हैं rules और regulation के तहत there are clear chairs ruling. आप किसी इस तरह के व्यक्ति पे जो आरोप लगा रहे हैं बिना सब्स्टिनेट किए माननीय चेयरमैन के परमिशन के नहीं लगा सकते. It will not go on the record. I'm telling you.
Sir, further, what is unconstitutional is dividing.
I will call the other's name now.
Sir,
if you do not, please. I have requested you several times on the record. Again requesting you. Otherwise, I will call the name of other people.
What is it, sir?
Please speak on the. मैं किसी और का नाम बुलाऊंगा अगर आपको बार-बार मैंने कई बार रिक्वेस्ट किया है आप चेयर की.
Sir, I have only few points, sir, 2-3 points.
But on the constitution.
On the constitution. This
yes.
Otherwise, what is unconstitutional? I am explaining to you.
I also know, and you also know what you are speaking. The House knows it. Please, Vijay Sai Reddy. Otherwise, I will call the name of other speaker now.
Sir,
Please.
Sir, shall I ask you one thing, sir?
No, sir.
Well,
you speak on the subject. My request
That's
is
the
that
subject only, sir.
Yes.
Sir, whether dividing the society on caste and religion basis is unconstitutional or not?
You speak
Definitely
on these things.
unconstitutional.
Yes.
That is what they are doing it, sir.
Right.
And secondly, another point, sir. The cases that have been filed, during the earlier regime runs to lakh crores of rupees, which have been public money that has been swindled. And those cases are being withdrawn now. The same person.
Please speak
Sir,
on the subject.
how is it possible? Is it not unconstitutional, sir?
Please.
Suppose if I become a CM and
You are
withdraw
not
cases
discussing CM,
after I become CM, is it not constitutional or unconstitutional, sir?
सीएम के बारे में डिस्कस करने के लिए 87 में क्लियर रूलिंग है, जब तक आप सब्सनेट करें ऑनरेबल चेयरमैन का परमिशन ले,
Sir, whether it is CM or minister or anybody
you
for that
cannot
matter,
speak.
sir.
No, sir. There are rulings for it. No, you cannot speak on those subjects.
Withdrawing cases on himself will be
Please.
unconstitutional.
I'll call the name of no other person, please.
Sir, if you don't allow me, I can't do
I'm
anything.
not. You have to follow the rules. You please speak on the subject.
Sir, what is unconstitutional is withdrawing cases
Please speak on the subject.
just because I have an authority.
You speak on the subject.
Just because I have an authority to power to withdraw cases, I can't resort to an unconstitutional practices.
Vijay Sai Reddy ji, you speak on the subject, please.
Sir, if it is not
आपको मैं
subject,
एक दो मिनट
sir,
subject करूं,
if
please.
you feel, if your good self feel that it is not a subject,
No,
I
sir,
will not
there are
speak,
rulings,
sir.
there are
I'm
rules and
sorry,
procedure.
sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. If you feel that it is not a
No,
subject.
I am not feeling. आप जो कर रहे हैं हाउस की
No,
रूलिंग्स
sir.
है, रूल्स है,
What?
प्लीज यू आर नॉट फॉलोइंग दोज. मैंने अनेक बार रिक्वेस्ट किया आपसे, प्लीज.
Discriminating one particular district is also unconstitutional as against a total number of districts. And sir, not being able to control and increasing the women crime against the women is also unconstitutional. That is what is happening in the state. I am not referring to anybody particularly. Sir, and when the floods have come in Vijayawada, the statement that has been given by the state government is that all of a sudden it has come and we have 24 hours advance notice. However, we thought that evicting so many people in one go in 24 hours or 48 hours time is impossible. Therefore, we have allowed them to stay and so many people have died. It is a natural calamity. Is it constitutional? That is not what is constitutional, sir. And every effort should be made by the government. Be it 24 hours, whether we have 24 hours or 48 hours, to the extent possible. You have government machinery on your hand. To the extent possible. If not all the citizens, every effort should be made. That is what the
Conclude,
Constitution
Vijay Sai ji. Your time is already over.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. माननीय श्री देवासी सामंत राय जी, आपका टर्म आएगा तो आप बोले प्लीज प्लीज प्लीज. नो, माननीय देवासी सामंत राय, सिर्फ आपकी बात रिकॉर्ड पे जाएगी. नो अदर टॉक. नॉट गोइंग ऑन रिकॉर्ड. प्लीज टेक योर सीट.
So my light is not yet on.
Yes, it's on.
No, sir.
See, it's already on. Two mics are on. From here I'm seeing. Please. Miss
That's not
Maanनीय
mine,
Sri
sir.
Devasi Samant Rai.
That is not mine.
You can come to that. No problem.
No, I can't move from my seat.
Please, please,
Thank you, sir. कम से कम मेरा right light तो जला दिए.
please.
Sir, I thank you. I thank the chair for this opportunity to speak on the Constitution of India. At the outset, we all know here that it was based on the diversity and the multiplicity of this country, from north to south, from east to west, many languages, many habits, many food habits, many forms of art. And in this journey, it starts with Pandit Nehru. Today, we have Honorable Prime Minister Narendra Modi ji. In between, there have been other prime ministers. Many governments have come and gone. At the outset of this debate on Constitution, I've been hearing the Lok Sabha speeches, the Rajya Sabha today also. It's basically a boxing round between the Congress and the BJP. And here all the other regional parties have been forgotten.
So there have been black spots in this journey of our Samvidhan. Okay? You spoke about the black spot during the emergency. It was unconstitutional. That many agree. And in return, the leader of the opposition was justifying all this. In this, where this federal structure was forgotten, this multiplicity was forgotten, this diversity of this country was forgotten. So while we are discussing in this journey where we have reached, how we are going to take forward this journey in 75 years, how this country has progressed towards making us stronger, to making the poor safer. If you see, as on today, we speak about emergency, but today there is a pseudo-emergency in India. These so-called constitutional watchdogs have become pet dogs. Anybody can be behind the bar without any justification. जो बोल रहे हैं सुन लीजिए. एक नहीं ये भी कोई आपके प्रदेश नहीं है.
आपका समय खत्म हो रहा है.
देखिए, सच बात बोलने से इनको जल जाता है.
आप इधर बोले, विषय पे बोले.
मैं बोल रहा
समय खत्म हो रहा है
कि आज इस कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन का हालत क्या है. जिसको डालो कोई जस्टिफिकेशन था, कई चीफ मिनिस्टर्स को लेके डाल दिए, फिर बेल नहीं दे रहा है, क्या रीजन क्या है. तो जरूर ये एक किस्म का इमरजेंसी चल रहा है इस देश में, और जोर से ठोक के बोलूंगा. सो
आप बोले प्लीज.
मैं बोल रहा हूँ, बोले ठीक है. सॉरी, मे बी आई हैव हर्ट योर सेंटिमेंट्स, बट इट्स फाइन. In this whole journey, the federal structure was not mentioned. Thanks to Trichy Shiva, he did speak about it with Tamil Nadu. Here we have Odisha till recently it was being ruled by regional parties for 5 terms. Navin Babu's BJD ruled the state. Now we have a different government. We accept it in this democratic structure. But you know, the neglect of states, we are supposed to have an inclusive center-state relationship to have this constitution being healthy. It is not only about favored states where there is a double-engine sarkar, that they get favored. And there, even in Orissa, is frequently visited by disasters. And to mitigate this disaster, we have been always seeking the center's help. But you know, each and every time we have been refused. As if we are not part of this federal structure. As if we are not part of India. But we have implemented our own schemes on our own. They talk about empowering women. Navin Babu has empowered 1 crore women under Mission Shakti. He has took a vow that I'll empower the women of Odisha, because empowered women हारेंगे तो आप भी मत घबराइए, हारेंगे.
आप इधर बोले.
पहले आप
प्लीज आपस में बात नहीं, आप इधर बोले.
See, सर
प्लीज स्पीक.
सर, ये जब अपने
चेयर पर बैठकर प्लीज ना कमेंट करें, प्लीज. आप बोले.
When we spoke about empowerment of women, we proved it also. Not only empowering them through Mission Shakti, even in the 3-tier panchayat system, Navin Babu brought a 50% reservation for women. And no mention of the empowerment of women. And today, I don't know, the parliament has approved the 33% reservation for women. If it will see the day of the light of the day, I don't know. So these are my observations in this journey of our Samvidhan, which somewhere has gone out of the track. And none of us are willing to address it. I think finally, ultimately, cutting across party lines. Who has achieved what? Who has done what? Who has corrected the Constitution? I think it is our responsibility of the members of both the houses to keep this Constitution healthy and vibrant and for India in its diversity and multiplicity. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Mani Devasish ji. Mani Shri A.D. Singh ji. Mani Shri A.D. Singh.
Thank you, Deputy Chairman, sir, to give me this opportunity to speak on this Constituent Assembly debates. What Dr. B.R. Ambedkar said in the concluding address of the Constituent Assembly, we are entering into a life of contradiction. In politics, we will have equality, and social and economic life, we will have inequality. How long shall we continue to live this life of contradiction? This is becoming very true, more so in the last 10 years. The preamble to the Constitution is the most eloquent chapter of the vision of India. It describes the democratic and progressive values of the Indian Republic, the concept of justice, liberty, equality, and fraternity, which frames the vision of India. Challenging it today, there are many dangerous trends: the denigration of our democratic institutions, the misuse of investigating agencies, the control on news media, the pressures on the judiciary, and even the legal fraternity and the blatant criminalization of our politics and public life. All these represent our constitutional makers' worst fears. Also, I want to bring to the notice of the House the statement of our Honorable Finance Minister regarding the First Amendment. The First Amendment was necessitated on account of the views expressed in the Constituent Assembly regarding land reforms, SC/ST reservations. What has been presented by the Honorable Finance Minister was misrepresentation of facts, which was adequately clarified by Kharge ji. Now, coming to directive principle of state policies. The egalitarian liberalism aims to reduce inequality and not create an absolute equal society. Article 38(2) of directive principle insists that state shall strive to minimize the inequalities of income and eliminate the inequalities of status, facility, and opportunities. Further, Article 39(c) emphasizes that the economic system ought not to result in concentration of wealth and means of production to common detriment.
Please continue.
Further, I want to bring to the notice of the House that how the Act of 1991 regarding the places of worship have been violated. There were some sensible comments by Shri Mohan Bhagwat ji advising fraternity that there is no need to go digging each and every mosque to find out a temple there. It seems that everybody has forgotten his advice, and there are new disputes pertaining to mosques and dargahs in Sambal, Ajmer, Badaun, Dhar. The places of worship Special Provision Act of 1990 has put a full stop on questioning any place of worship as it existed on 15th August 1947. Of course, the Ram Janmabhoomi was made out an exception in view of the ongoing dispute. However, of late, it has been seen that many lower courts are passing orders for the survey of mosques by bypassing the Places of Worship Act. The recent Sambal Sahib Masjid controversy is a cleverly engineered conspiracy to keep Hindu-Muslim pots simmering. The way the petition was filed and the speed with which the survey was ordered all raises question about the sanctity of the due process. कहना चाहता हूं, मंदिर भी ले लो, मस्जिद भी ले लो, इंसान के खून से मगर अब न खेलो. Regarding Viksit Bharat, what the Treasury benches have always repeated. Now, I just want to know the Viksit Bharat relates to India or Bharat, because we have two Bharat. We have two sections of the people. 6-7% are the people in the organized sector who benefit for everything, and about 93-94% of people are in the unorganized sector, mainly farmers, landed, unorganized labor, whose position is becoming bad to worst. And if you see the number of billionaires which are increasing in India, I think it has reached from 9 to about 120 today. So what are we doing for upliftment of the 94%? Zero. I don't think any effort is by just doling out 5 kg anaj. I don't think they want employment. They don't want free anaj. I can tell you in my state of Bihar, because of that anaj, we are not finding workers having any desire to work. So I don't know how will we become Viksit Bharat. Maybe the Viksit Bharat relates to 6 to 8% of India, and the rest is becoming poorer and poorer, and the gap between the wealthy and the poor is increasing day by day. Another thing I wanted to bring to your notice that the way the government is behaving is only dividing the society, and I do not know what will happen in the future. The way the minorities are feeling too left out, they are in absolute fear, and they don't have the support of any authority where they can go to there. And so one last point I want to bring to the lower level of judiciary has to be advised to take the cases fast, and so that the lower level judiciary can give judgments, whichever case, civil or criminal. Because I find that lower of the judiciary, what they can do in 1 or 2 years, it takes 10, 20 years for the cases to come to an end. I'll give an example.
Please conclude now.
One last point. I'll give an example. My family has filed a partition suit in 1991. Nothing has happened till now. Not that I am affected in the sense that this is the way.
Thank you, Mani D. Singh ji. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Mani Honorable Sri G.K. Vasan.
Honorable Deputy Chairman, sir, thank you for giving me an opportunity to participate in the discussion of the 75th year of the glorious journey to the Constitution. Sir, we should not forget that it has taken more than 2 years of hard work and dedication for our leaders, scholars, philosophers, and people from different walks of life to give us this precious Constitution. Sir, our Constitution has given the power to our people to elect their own representatives and be governed by popular governments. As a result, sir, today we have a stable government in the country, elected for the 3rd term, under which the Constitution is safe and secure. Sir, Winston Churchill once said, "No constitution will hold India together because of its divisions, differences based on religion, caste, community, and language." His thoughts and thinking has completely proved wrong, sir, because we are proud as a countrymen. We stand united after 75 years of adoption of Indian Constitution. Sir, India is growing stronger day by day. We are becoming a guiding star and source to other nations, even leading nations of the world. Sir, this is possible only because of our leaders. The Constituent Assembly was constituted from leaders of all parties from various states. All the leaders had a national look. That is the reason drafting committee had given an excellent and extraordinary document to the country. Sir, our leaders examined 2 important aspects before drafting Constitution: stability and accountability. Sir, I would like to say the chairman of the drafting committee, Dr. Ambedkar, and his colleagues, we should thank them for an excellent and great contribution, sir. We should also thank the team and members of the drafting committee, sir, for the dedicated work. Sir, finally, sir, I would like to say the committee's objectives were food to the starving poor, clothes to the needy poor, to provide shelter to the homeless, to provide equal opportunity to all the people in the country, sir. I am sure, sir, keeping in mind the government today is functioning, and it is all our public, sir, to uphold the spirit of Constitution, which is the most sacred book of the nation. That is the ultimate homage we can pay to the framers of this wonderful Constitution. Thank you, sir.
थैंक यू माननीय जी के भाषण जी। माननीय श्री हरदीप सिंह पुरी जी।
Honorable Deputy Chairman, sir. Sir, I was born 2 years and 2 months after our Constitution was adopted. As India grew under the canopy of a protective Constitution, so did my generation. The first to be born in independent India, for us the Constitution is sacred. I cannot think of any occasion in my professional life, going back more than 50 years, which could even remotely rival the solemnity and the honor of being asked to speak in this august house to discuss the glorious 75 years of the Constitution. For this, I shall remain eternally grateful to the Honorable Prime Minister and the leadership of my party. Sir, this discussion must start with paying a tribute to the visionaries of the Constituent Assembly. They produced a constitution that drew upon our history, our culture, our civilizational experience of 7,000 years, ensuring that it was not overpowered by a mindset born of 190 years of colonial rule. The framers of the Constitution, therefore, sir, deserve our eternal gratitude. Democracy was not imported in India in 1947. India has had democratic traditions from way back to the 6th century BC in places like Vaishali, which was the capital of the Republic of Vaji. One of the oldest democracies, the mother of democracies, our democracy, sir, predates the Westphalian order by a very long period. In the run-up to and after independence, there was no shortage of the prophets of doom, those who prophesied that India was bound to fail. The Honourable Leader of Opposition today recalled statements attributed to the then Prime Minister Winston Churchill. I have similarly come across a statement by Claude Auchinleck, the former Commander-in-Chief of the British Indian Army. He wrote in 1948, and I quote, "The Punjabi is as different from a Madrasi as a Scot is from an Italian. The British tried to consolidate it, but achieved nothing permanent. No one can make a nation out of a continent of many nations." So when I was going through this statement, I was reminded that this gentleman and Prime Minister Winston Churchill perhaps were the linear progenitors of the spiritual guru of the young leader of the Congress party, who prophesied that the young Sam Petroda. I am referring to the spiritual. I have not taken anybody's name. I have not taken, sir. I have referred to the spiritual leader, the enlightenment provider of a young Congress leader, who said, when it compared our diverse communities to foreign races, such prophecies were forthcoming even before we witnessed the horrors of partition. Going through the Constituent Assembly debates, it becomes abundantly clear that the framers realized what was at stake. This is what Sardar Patel had to say about the endeavors of the Constituent Assembly. He said, and I quote, "There is no alternative to this assembly except chaos and anarchy," unquote. Sir, despite all odds, India has succeeded, India has thrived, except for a shameful period of 21 months between 1975 and 1977. No other developing country, with the exception of Costa Rica, has seen a longer run of unbroken democratic rule since World War II. As a student of history and evolving political systems, one could say with a degree of confidence that the experiment of the United States was the defining moment of the 18th century for democracy, and India will be remembered as the exemplar of the 20th and 21st century as the largest, most vibrant, youngest, and most diverse democracy. We are diverse in terms of languages, cultures, customs, and tradition, but united by this Constitution, which helps us overcome the various centripetal and centrifugal forces that threaten to break the nation apart. Honorable Chairman, sir, when the nation was being targeted and was facing many challenges, the integration of princely states, some provisions were made which were meant to be temporary, transitional, and special provisions, thus underscoring their impermanence. Under such a provision was kept Article 370 in Part 21 of the Constitution. And I quote, "It can be garnered from the historical context for the inclusion of Article 370 and the placement of Article 317 in Part 21 of the Constitution that it is temporary provision." Sir, in a speech lasting over 1 hour and 18 minutes, the Honourable Leader of the Opposition